This episode is sponsored by James Hammon Advisory, making bad marketing impossible. Are you ready for Gary V and Grant Cardone? NAC 2019. Let's have a little look at this, shall we? Entrepreneurial royalty. Yes, Gary V. Grant Cardone. Together on the same stage. When is it? The 19th to the 20th of November, Birmingham. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, Gary. See you there, Grant. Yes!
Some of you might have seen that Gary V and Grant Cardone are coming over to the UK in November. I know I'm being stalked around the internet by their ads, and I'm sure your social media feed is no different. So I've put together this short video designed to help you decide if you should attend or not. So the short answer for you instant gratification YouTubers is no. So thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Only joking. I can see why you'd be tempted. Gary and Grant are both impressive talkers, and there's no doubting that they are very successful businessmen.
But is it really an event to see Gary and Grant?
Our first clue is hidden on the ad. Check the small print and you can see that Gary is actually only there at the end of the second day. But the marketing gives the impression, to me at least, that you are going to see Grant and Gary. So why is Gary only appearing at the end of day 2 and Grant will be appearing at the end of day 1?
I've been to these events before. I've even got the t-shirt and the backpack. Dude.
So from my experience of previous events, this is how it will go. Gary and Grant will fly in at the end of their respective days, do their 30 minutes, take a few questions from the audience and off they go, on to the next event in another city, in another country. So what about the rest of the day? What are you actually paying for? Success Resources will tell you they'll share unique, game-changing strategies, processes and mindsets you need to create extraordinary levels of success, wealth and fulfillment.
Bollocks. They're charging other speakers to pitch at you. Pitch after pitch after pitch. So let's take a look who's confirmed. Okay, so we've got Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone. Excellent. I wonder who else is speaking at these events. Paul O'Mahony. Seen him before. Isn't he the world record holder for the longest public speaking event? Yeah, I know that guy. Sandy, is that you? Seen you before once or twice. Mr. Short-Term Fast Profits. I know there'll be somebody profiting from this little event. Clement Chiang. Who? Clement Chiang. Clement Chiang. Clement Chiang. Never heard of him. Should he even be on that stage? Ah, he's an Amazon bestseller. Of course he should be on that stage. He's definitely legit. Let me just Google that guy. Clement Chiang. Never heard of him. Ah. Maybe you guys should Google him before you go to the event. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get sued for saying what I'm reading. I think we'll just close that down.
They've obviously not booked anyone else as they've left the rest of the speakers mysterious. One late addition is Russell Brands. I like a lot of Russell's stuff.
Says here I like a lot of Russell's stuff. What the fuck? I don't like any of Russell's stuff. I think he's a gimp. He doesn't have a shitty online course or bootcamp to floggers, but I bet he will be promoting his new book, Mentors.
Hello, as you can see, I'm Russell Brand. I'm promoting this book, my book too.
Don't worry, Russell. I'll get my people to send your people the invoice for this bit of promo. The point being, the majority of the speakers at this event you pay to attend will be pitching you their product. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if it was made clear that was the deal before you attend. Here's how their marketing should go.
Hey entrepreneurs, we've lured Gary and Grant to come and speak for 30 minutes at a 2-day event. We've had to buy huge quantities of their books and paid them a shit ton of money to make it worth their while. This event was pretty expensive to put on, so we're going to charge other, less successful speakers to come and pitch their bullshit products to you all day long. The products will be heavily discounted, all cost $1,997. If you make it through the pitches alive, a jet-lagged Grant and Gary will pop on stage and spout some generic motivational bullshit to you, and you'll get to clap, high five and whoop some more. Then finally, they'll take ridiculous questions from people dumb enough to have bought a diamond ticket. Gary and Grant, coming to Birmingham soon.
I paid for my diamond ticket. You can probably see me in the queue here. 2 days, I endured pitch after pitch after pitch from some of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world. Finally, I was about to ask my question to Gary V. What was that question, Mike? I hear none of you asking. I was going to ask Gary V to endorse and write a foreword for my upcoming book, My Life as a Entrepreneur. Then this happened.
I've just written a book.
You created a book?
I created a book.
Are you self-publishing?
That's what my question is. How would I go about getting an endorsement from Gary V?
Yeah, I just can't do that.
Could you tweet it? If I send you a copy?
I don't know who the fuck you are. Can you romance the girl a little bit?
For fuck's sake, she stole my question.
Even worse, adults will use this unique opportunity to ask a successful entrepreneur for a hug.
I was trying to get you earlier, man.
Hell yeah, let's go.
You do sometimes get the occasional decent speaker. The last time I went to a Success Resources event, that guy was Dan Priestley. He didn't sell anything from the stage, gave great business advice, and I would say it's worth seeing. You know what? I don't even blame the other speakers. They have to pitch to cover the costs of them speaking, but it should be more transparent, and that's what this is. Success Resources are misleading you with their marketing. For this event in Australia, they've had to include some blurb to tell people they are entering a business premises and will be pitched at all day long. That is missing from this Birmingham event. That blurb and small print is not on any of the marketing or adverts that I've seen to date.
As for Gary and Grant attending, to me, Grant looks like a guy acquiring wealth, fast. That's it. I imagine he'll promote his 10x conference and his new real estate opportunities. I don't think he's there to share his sales strategy with you. Gary? Now Gary's a tricky one. And I know some of you will be like, hey Mike Winnet, you're doing a documentary about entrepreneurs with Gary V, and yet he's the biggest fucking crook going. Honestly, it's hard to defend Gary in this instance. We spoke in his office about how bullshit Success Resources events are and how people were suckered into seeing Gary and then pitched at for 2 days solid by the very entrepreneurs he supposedly dislikes.
We went to a Success Resources event actually,
Yeah.
and you were one of the speakers there.
Yeah.
Before you turned up, people were like booing and also shouting the price out of what, because they all followed the same process. Oh, at 1997. People were shouting it out. The crowd were booing. That woman in front of us got up and left. She hated it.
He explained why he attends the events and asked if I could tell the difference between him and the other speakers.
Do you know what the greatest sadness for me every day is? When some people see my content and they think my high energy means I'm one of those people. Has it been cool for you guys to figure out the difference between me and them? I'm for free, not telling them what they want to hear.
Yeah.
They're for money, telling them what they want to hear.
Yeah.
They won't think those are good guys forever.
I think he's missed the point. He believes his 30 minutes is so valuable, so pure, whatever the fuck he thinks it is, that somehow makes it all worthwhile. Forgetting that poor old Sandra, the virtual assistant from Birmingham, inspired by crushing it, has sat there through 20 hours of pitch after pitch after pitch under all these influences and has ran to the back of the room to sign up with a credit card for 5, 6, 7 courses she does not need to improve her business. Plausible deniability or a big wad of cash? Only Gary truly knows.
Now before you jump into my comments and ask, so is Gary V a good guy or a bad guy? I'm not answering that. All I'm saying is, if you are planning on going to this event, it might not be what you're expecting based on the marketing. In my opinion, there are far better ways to spend 2 days. And if you do decide to go, watch out for the tactics used in my Entrepreneur Formula video. If you do like what we're doing, let us know in the comments and don't forget to share this video on your social media.
This episode was sponsored by James Hammon Advisory, making bad marketing impossible. Click the link in the description.